channel. So today's video is going to be on this makeup look. I haven't filmed a makeup look in so long. It's been like a month and a half. It's so weird. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun doing it. So if you aren't already, then please subscribe to my channel. And if you want to know how I got this makeup look, then just keep watching. First thing that I'm going to be doing is taking Creme Brûlée by Makeup Geek and a Sigma E40 brush. And I'm just dusting that all over my transition area. So I'm just doing windshield wiper motions, going back and forth, and just kind of doing an even layer across this whole area. And then I'm taking the shade Note to Self by Colourpop. This is the new pressed powder single shadows. And I'm using an M573 brush, and I'm just putting that right over top of the first shade that I put, just keeping it a little bit lower and denser near the crease instead of higher up. Now I'm taking the shade Mocha by Makeup Geek and a Morphe M518 brush, and I'm going to start packing the shade on my outer corner. So I'm just keeping this on the outer third of my eyelid, and this is going to start that half cut crease. So you don't want to bring it too far in because we are going to be putting glitter on the inner half or 2/3 of my eyelid. So I don't want to be covering that up with any of this dark shadow. And then with just a little bit left on the brush, I'm going to start bringing that inwards on the crease area and then not bringing it anywhere past my crease or onto my lid. And you don't have to worry too much about how this looks right now. If it's a little bit sloppy, that's okay because we are going to be cleaning a lot of this up with concealer, so you don't have to worry too much about what it looks like right now. Now I'm going to start carving out my cut crease, and I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Concealer in the shade 0.75. You don't have to use this. You can use any concealer that you have. It'll all work the same. I'm just using this because it's in a pot, and I feel like it's easier for me to get it on my brush. And I'm using a BH Cosmetics 142 brush. You just want to use a really small, synthetic, precise brush for this. You don't want to use anything like too big or too fluffy. That's going to make your job a lot harder. So I just put a little bit of concealer on the tip of my brush, and then I'm just going to start carving out where I want my crease to be. And I'm going quite a bit higher than my actual crease is because I don't want it to disappear when I open my eyes up. So I'm making that line just a little bit higher than where my actual crease is, so that when my eyes are open, you'll be able to see the entire cut crease. Then I'm just going to start dragging that concealer inwards and start covering up all that eyeshadow. And then I'm just taking any skin colored matte shadow or powder and just setting that concealer so that it's not sticky anymore. And you can use any flat shader brush for this. I just use any one that was in sight, and this one doesn't even have a name on it, so any brush that's flat will work to press that powder on. And then I'm going to go right into the glitters, and I'm using the new Stila Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadow, and I'm using the shade Smoky Storm. So basically I'm just going to put this all over where I made that cut crease, and I'm going to stop it about 2/3 of the way across my eyelid so that it doesn't get into that dark brown shadow. And I'm kind of using the tip of this to straighten out that concealer. So even if you did mess up the concealer part where we cut out the cut crease, you can always just use the tip of this to straighten that up. And then before that dries down completely, I'm going to be taking more of that dark brown shade Mocha and just kind of buffing out these edges so there's no harsh lines between the glitter and the matte shadow. Okay, now for my eyeliner today, I'm using the Maybelline Eye Studio Gel Liner in the shade Blackest Black. And I'm going to be doing a winged liner today, so I'm using a Sigma E06 brush. This is one of my favorite brushes for doing winged liners with gels. So I'm just going to be doing a big wing today, and I started in the outer corner and then just drug it up to the tail of my brow. And then I drew a line from the tip of the wing to about the center of my eye and then filling that in. Okay, and then I know this kind of seems like a lot, but I'm going to be going in with my Sephora liquid eyeliner. I just have a really hard time doing the line across my eyelid with gel liner, so I like to go in with liquid liner to do that part and just kind of clean and straighten everything up. I'm just doing a quick coat of mascara on my lashes, and I'm using the Loreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. Okay, so I'm going to move on to my face before I finish off my lower lash line. So I'm going to be priming my face with the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. I haven't used this primer in forever, but I used to love it so much. This is one of my all-time favorite primers. It makes my skin look really red at first, but then after it calms down, it looks so good. It makes your skin look so flawless and soft and like totally evens out your skin tone. So I absolutely love that one. And then for foundation, I'm going to be using my Smashbox Studio Skin 15-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation. This is also another one of my all-time favorite foundations. It's weird because it's a hydrating foundation. I have oily skin, and usually when you have oily skin, you're not supposed to wear hydrating foundations, but it works so good on my skin, and it's one of the only foundations that keeps my oil under control. It's crazy. Like, I can wear this for hours and hours and hours and I won't have any oil on my skin. It's just crazy. And then I'm just blending all of this in with a damp beauty sponge. And then I use the shade 1.15 in this foundation. And then for my concealer, I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light Medium Honey. And I'm just going to be focusing this on the center of my face just to brighten it up a little bit. I don't necessarily use this for extra coverage or actually concealing. I mainly just like to use concealers as a highlight just to like kind of bring the center of the face forward. And then I'll go back in with my beauty sponge and blend that all out. And then I'm setting my under eyes with the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. And I'm just going to be dipping my damp beauty blender into a little bit of that powder. And then just kind of pressing that on underneath my under eyes so that my concealer doesn't crease on me. Because, again, I am pretty oily and I always need to set my concealer because otherwise it will crease pretty bad. And then I just kind of sit here and pat and just work that powder into the skin, basically until it's completely gone. And I find that when I do this, rather than like baking or just setting it with a brush, I find that it makes my under eyes look so much more flawless and just like seamless and smooth. So that's why I always sit there with the powder and then really work that into the skin. I just feel like it makes it look so much better. And then I'm also doing that same exact thing on my forehead and on my chin just because I do get very oily in those places too, and I feel like this really helps to control my oil. Now I'm going to cream contour a little bit. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick. This is in the shade Fawn, so this is the one that's like specifically meant for cream contouring. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my brush, and this is a BH Cosmetics 138 brush. I'm just going to start working that into the hollows of my cheeks. Then I'm going to put a little bit on my hairline. I'm just going to take a little bit more of that same concealer that I was using and put it underneath my contour line just to clean it up a little bit. And then blend that out with a beauty blender again. Now I'm going to go right over top of that cream contour with the powder version. This is Fawn by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm using a Sigma F40 brush. I just always like to go over my cream contours with powder just because if I don't set anything that's like cream on my face, it will move around on me. If you're not oily or you just don't have that problem, you don't need to do this extra step, or you just don't even need to do a cream in the first place. But I love doing anything cream. Like, I love cream contours, cream highlighters, anything that's cream. Now for my blush, I'm using Becca FLOWERCHILD blush. This is one of my favorite blushes. It's like that perfect baby pink corally shade. So I'm using a Sigma F10 brush, just tapping off the extra because I don't want it to be too dramatic on my face. Putting that right on the apples of my cheeks and then just kind of like dragging that backwards just to get the appearance of a more lifted face. I'm going to zoom you guys back in and then start working on my lower lash line just because I totally forgot about that. So I'm just going to line my waterline with a black eyeliner. I'm using the Marc Jacobs one. You don't have to use this one. You can just use any black eyeliner. And then I'm taking the shade Blazing by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is like a really deep, warm red shade. And I'm using a Morphe M506 brush. I'm just going to smudge that all over my lower lash line. And I'm using this shade just to bring a little bit of warmth back to my eyes. And then I'm just going to be using my Sephora mascara to coat my bottom lashes. Now to just set my brows in place, I'm using the Benefit Ready Set Brow Gel. And I'm just going to quickly run this through my brows so that they stay in place all day. Alright, now for my highlight, I'm using the Benefit What's Up highlighter. This is a cream highlighter. And I'm just going to be taking a little bit on the tip of my beauty blender, just because I don't want it to be too like harsh on the face and not be able to like blend it out. I'm just going to start pouncing that right on the high points of my cheekbones. And then just to set that, I'm going to be taking just a teeny tiny little bit of this Too Faced Love Light highlighter in the shade Blinded by the Light. I'm using an Anastasia 823 brush, and I'm just going to dust right over top of where I put that cream. And then I'm also going to put a little bit on the tip of my nose. And then I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in the shade Crush. This is my new favorite lip shade. I think it's so pretty. It's like the perfect baby doll pink color. I just am absolutely obsessed with it. I've been wearing it like every single day. So this is the finished look. I really hope you guys like how it turned out. I've been wearing this eye look so much recently, and hopefully this video wasn't like too weird or boring for you guys. I just haven't filmed a makeup tutorial in forever, so it was kind of weird like getting back into it. But if you guys have any other video suggestions for me to do, let me know down in the comments and I will definitely do that for you guys. So if you did like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.